Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see my screen. Um, Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me well and if you can see my screen. Great. Yay, amazing. Hi, everyone. All right. We'll give it, I guess, one more minute, and then we can start. Amazing, amazing. Thanks for all the answers. Um, Hi everyone. I'm super excited to be here. This webinar is going to be recorded. So don't worry if you have to leave sooner. Don't worry, it will be recorded and the recording is going to be sent out to you. Just before we start, I want to tell you all that you can ask questions during the webinar. We have the amazing Sasha here with us to help us answer those questions. And also there will be time at the end where I'll go over questions that were left unanswered. So let's use the chat for any fun comments, and let's put the questions in the Q&A box, just so that it will be easier for us to track those questions and to answer all of you. And all right, amazing. So hi everyone. Like I said, I'm Dana from the TLV office, from the Tel Aviv office. And today I'm going to talk about all the features that we released since the beginning of the year. So this webinar is going to be around 40 minutes of showing you guys the new features. And then about 20 minutes of Q&A. We'll go over your questions and hopefully everyone's questions will be answered. And as I said in the beginning, this webinar is recorded and it will be sent to you afterwards with the link to the recording and all the resources and everything. So a more specific agenda, these are the new features that have been released since the beginning of the year, which we will go through in this webinar. All of them are CRM features. So I'm assuming and hoping that all of you have used the CRM, are familiar with the CRM, because this webinar is going to discuss the features. So it's not a basic webinar. And of course, if you have any questions, you can just ask them and we'll answer at the end. So we're going to go over these features, mandatory fields, some really cool email improvements that we added, like an AI composer, a click tracker, pinning item to the timeline, new automations on emails and activities, and calendar integration, a native caller that we made via the company Twillio, a new pipeline view, account enrichment, database enrichment, mass emails, so a mass emailing with HTML, sending test emails, getting analytics on those mass emails, a new import to the board, a new import experience, and a new item card improvements, which we'll talk about, and some mobile improvements. So I'll start from and of course, we'll also get a sneak peek into the future. So I'm just going to show you 3 features we're developing that will be released by the end of the year, just so that you can have something to look forward to. I'm going to show you the new item page widgets, the new quotes and invoices. I'll just show you a brief, peek, not the actual feature of quotes and invoices and email sequences. I'll start with the mobile just because I'm on the presentation already, and then I'll open the CRM. So for those of you who are not using our mobile app, I urge you to download it now, the monday.com app, the mobile app. And we made the CRM experience a dedicated, more convenient experience for CRM. So if you're using Monday, but also using a CRM, when you open your CRM boards on the mobile, you'll be able to see a view like this. You'll have the option to call directly from here, to email them. You'll have the option to compose an activity, even on offline mode. And the item page looks much better and really helps you to enhance the productivity. And if you are familiar with the sales leaderboard widget that exists on the web version, so we now released a new version of the leaderboard on the mobile. So this is really cool. You can monitor your sales rep performance on the go, and it's very convenient to look at it like this. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the platform and talk about the features. The first feature I want to show you is what we call the quick item creation, which basically allows us to have mandatory fields. And what do I mean by that? So let's say that I have a new lead, someone I spoke to on the phone, someone I met at a conference, and I want to insert a new lead, right? So I'm going to insert my new lead. I'm going to add James, Andy, and it lets me add an item, right? But on CRM, we want to make sure to keep data integrity. We want to make sure that when we enter a new data point into our CRM, everything is intact and nothing gets missed, and all the data that needs to be filled out will actually be filled out. So in the CRM, we've added a new option from the settings. You can access it by going to, by going to the settings and going to enable item creation form. When I enable this, look at what happens. When I'm trying to add a new item, it doesn't let me add it from the board itself. It will open up this form modal to let me that I will need to submit the field of the columns from this form. Now, it's different from a regular form because it's actually on the board itself. I don't have to go on a separate link, and I can still have access on the board to change labels. So it's very convenient, and it's very easy to customize and to create mandatory fields. So I can make sure that whenever a new lead is being entered, I want to make this field required. So now if I try to put here the information, and let's say I forgot to, I don't have the phone number, right? Okay, never mind my typos. I'm trying to add a new item. Oops, it doesn't let me. I have to insert the phone number in order to create the new item. So this feature, again, it's unique to the CRM, and it really helps you keep everything intact and all the data in place to make sure you have mandatory fields on the board. The next feature I want to show you that's also related to keeping the data clear and to creating mandatory fields. And I want to just mention that this feature is for enterprise tiers only. It's setting label conditions. What does it mean? It means that I can choose that whenever I want to change the status to qualified, I will not be able to change it unless these columns, for example, are filled out. So again, this is only to the enterprise tier. So when I change it to qualified, I'll have to make sure that these fields are actually filled out, and only then it will let me to move it back, to move the status to qualified. So really, these features help us keep those mandatory fields and make sure that the data is inputted the way that we want and nothing gets missed. All right, moving on to our next feature. And for that, I'll move on to the opportunities board or deals board. You might call it something else. Some really cool and small enhancements that I would like to show you is, actually, you know what? Let's go back to the contacts board. In the contacts board, I would like to show you how now when you click on the email column, it opens up the email composer from our emails and activities feature. You can also expand it to make it larger. This has been requested from a lot of our users. It really helps productivity instead of opening the item card and clicking here on new email. So we can just click here and it will open up the email modal really quickly. Some other things that we added here are the AI assistant. So you can use this AI composer and ask AI to generate an email asking after a client hasn't answered for weeks. I don't know, something like that. And then our lovely AI is going to generate an email example for us, an email template that we can then copy to the email and customize it to make it our own. We have obviously the shared templates that you can use. You have files that you can add to this email from your computer or from your files column if you have columns, if you have files on this item. And the next thing I want to show you is our super, super, super new feature, which is the native caller. So check this out. I'm now clicking on this phone number and I'm calling Leonie, my contact. And as you can see, it's now calling her if she will pick up. And the really cool thing is that once I'm in the call with this person, I can also navigate between the boards. I can open the items. I can write my notes. And let's go ahead and hang up. And I can write my notes so that everything is, it's really helping me to work as I am contacting my lead. So nothing, wait, why am I not able to hang up? Okay, I'll just wait for it to hang up on its own. Oops, it might be my phone. Let me quickly hang up here.
שלום, הלקוח אינו יכול לקבל את שיחתכם כרגע.
Can you hear this Hebrew announcement? Okay, I'm gonna hang up. But the really cool thing is that while I'm calling this person, I'm also able to write my notes. I'm able to jump between boards. And at the end, after about 1 minute, I will get here on the emails and activities timeline, I will have a block that's showing me the recording of this call. So the call is going to be recorded, and soon enough we will add even call summary and some other AI features to this recording. But this native caller is released to some of the users. If you guys are interested in reaching out and getting this feature for the alpha users, so just let us know in the chat and we will add you as alpha users. You can have this feature. So this is regarding the caller. All right. Now let's move on to the opportunities or deals board, however you have it in your account. And in the deals board, we also added a new view, a pipeline view. I really love this view because I can customize it and see the revenue in my stages. So what do I mean? What do I actually see here? I have basically my status column over here, right? That's showing me the different statuses of my opportunities, of my deals. And when I go to the pipeline view, I actually see a summary of the revenue of each deal. And as you know, maybe from the Kanban, I am also able to move those deals between the stages. And the really cool addition is that we added the summary column, meaning I can now select what a number will be displayed in here. So if I want to look at my sales pipeline and I want to see how much revenue is lying within each stage, I can see that I have deals of the amount of $150,000 that are still on the new stage. So if I'm close to the end of the month, I'm going to start talking to those reps and letting them know to start moving up those deals. So you see how when I'm moving up a deal, the revenue here is changing accordingly. So this is really helping us to keep everything, to have an overview of everything that's going on with my pipeline. All right, let's move on to the next feature. I'm gonna go over to the accounts board. So in the accounts board, or it's basically the place where we store all of the accounts, all of the companies that we work with. If we have a CRM that's B2B and we have companies that are stored with us, so we have this accounts board. We just added an enrichment feature in cooperation with Crunchbase. And what does this feature do exactly? So let me open. So when I want to open a new company, right? So let's say I'm working with Apple. When I start to type Apple, it will basically suggest from Crunchbase database, it will start suggesting the companies that are listed and basically suggest the company that I want to work with. And then, as you can see, it will populate the information about the company, the description of the company, the headquarters location, the number of employees, and what is the industry of this company, right? So if we start type monday.com, oops, I will see here the enrichment of this company. Now, again, this is powered by Crunchbase. You can test it out. And by the way, if you don't want this drop down, you can also disable it and just leave it like that, blank, and then you can just fill out the domain over here, and it will be enriched as well from the domain. So you can just play with the settings and decide whatever you want and how you want it to behave. Now, the fact that you have this enrichment tool basically will allow you to keep your CRM data intact. It will give you the ability to create data-driven decisions. Once you have all the companies you work with, you can then analyze it by the number of employees, by the industry, look at your data and decide how many companies from this industry you have, what are you strongest at, and so on and so forth. So this feature is amazing. Again, it's with Crunchbase. We're giving you around 1,000 free enrichment companies, and then you can just purchase it from the marketplace and get as many features as you want and additional enrichment actions. All right, cool. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit more about the emails. I know that we talked about the email composer. I want to talk about the mass emails. Mass emails, I think it's also one of my favorite features that we released. It's giving us the ability to email up to 2,000 contacts a day. And basically, all I have to do, it's super easy. I just need to go to my contact board or any board that has the email column in it so that I know who I need to email. And when I select all these contacts, I will see here the mass email button. Now, this mass email is basically now going to send an individual email to all these recipients that I selected. And not just that, I can also send them an HTML email. So I have the HTML editor. So you can insert the HTML code and you can view here the template of how it will look like on the desktop, on the mobile. And that means that you can actually use this mass emailing feature to email your contacts with nice designed, maybe marketing emails, right? And you can send them this new offer coming up and send them this email. So now it's going to send, like I said, an individual email for all those 58 contacts. Now, by the way, another thing that I wanted to show you is before you send out this mass email, you can also send yourself a test email. So you can see how it looks like. You can make sure there are no mistakes, that the image is okay. So you, in addition to the preview, you can also send yourself a test email. Now, once you've sent those emails, you also want to track it. And so we added the mass email tracking. And you can see here, this is a list of all the mass emails that I've been sending, that I sent. And you can see here the information, who sent the mass email, what's the status. how many recipients, what is the delivered rate, and what is the open rate. And you can see here also a drill down. So once you click on that email, you can actually see, again, a more specific analytics about the delivered and the opened rate. You can see here who was successfully sent, who was failed, who actually opened the email, and so on and so forth. And this is really just the beginning of our mass email capabilities and our marketing email capabilities in general. And this is really the first milestone in helping you revamp your CRM and making sure that everything stays intact, including it stays connected, including the marketing team, for example. So if you're sending out different campaigns, or if you're reaching out to your contacts, you can then see what type of email was successful, what has a large open rate, a low open rate, and so on and so forth. And like I said, this is just the beginning. All right. Let's move on to the next feature, the import. So for those of you who import from Excel, you know, it's sometimes we download a list of leads or a list of contacts from our Google campaign or from our LinkedIn, or we were on an event and we collected a bunch of leads. And if we have them in Excel, we want to import them. So now the new import has been improved. Let's take a look and review it together. So what you have to do is choose the Excel that you want to import, and you will get this lovely preview showing you the Excel and showing you which column from the Excel is going to be matched into the column in your board. So whatever you can choose here to which column you want to match it to, right? So for example, this I will match to this, and this I will match to this. And then you can see a preview of how your board is going to look like. Now, the really cool addition that we added with this new import experience is the fact that now if you have a column on the Excel that doesn't exist on your Monday board, it will now be added as a new column. So I don't know, those of you who have imported from Excel and have tried, you know, importing, and then they found out they don't have a column, you have to go back to your board and add a column. So no more. So you can see here, for example, in this location, I don't have a location column, or I don't have a comments column. So I'm just going to leave it like that, and it's going to add a new column. Instead of asking me to add it manually, it's just going to add the new column automatically. In addition, it can also add it as a new group, but it can also find duplicates. So for example, if I have the same email column, I can ask it to not import or to replace it. So if it finds like a new email, it can just replace it, and that's it. And then when it's importing it, like I said, it will add the new column of comments. So as you can see here, it added a new location column, a new comments column. So this is really a time saver for those of you who import regularly. All right. Now I want to open up the item card. All right, let's go ahead and open the item card. I'm sure you all know this lovely item card, or as I like to call it, the customer 360. This feature really gives me a view at a glance of my opportunity, of my customer, and I can actually see what's going on. I can see all of the activities. I can see the information, the stages of the deal, of this progress. So now let's take a look at what we improved in this item card. First of all, a very nice feature is the fact that now when we close a deal, we have this really cool animation, that just like celebrates our success. So you can set it up in the settings of the widget, and you can decide whether to show it or not. But I really like it. I like celebrating successes. So I feel like this is really cool and raising the motivation. They should have listened to my suggestion to make a dancing llama, but they eventually chose the gong, which is also nice. Okay, so this is one improvement. Another thing I want to show you, and those of you who have tried to edit and add different widgets will feel my pain. So let me show you what I mean. Up until now, this item card used to be, it used to have just one row. And when you used to expand it, it didn't move. And as you can see right now, I mean, it was only horizontal. Now it can be vertical. I hope I didn't mix those up. But as you can see now, it's very flexible. So when I move it, it basically adjusts itself into the sizing of the item widget. So again, for those of you who were playing with this in the past and felt the pain, so now this new improvement is going to be a game changer for them. I know it was for me because I used to have such long item cards, and now I can just do it like this. So I really like this enhancement. And now let's talk about the emails and activities. So first of all, in the emails and activities, we just added a new calendar integration. So if we go to the settings, you can see here that you can now add a Google Calendar integration and an Outlook calendar integration. Now, what this will do, as of now, it's a one direction integration. And what does it mean? It means that when you book a meeting from your calendar with this specific attendee, then you will see it appearing in your timeline. So let's test it out. So let's go back and let's see. I have this contact, Philip. All right. So Rogers. Let me copy his email and let me go to my calendar and have a meeting with him. Right, with this Rogers. Let me call this meeting. I'm going to save it. Wonderful. I saved it in my calendar. And then it will appear here. Okay, so as you can see it. Oh, actually, it's not this one, but it will take like a minute or so. So we will have to see it. Let's say the Shoei deal. Let's see. Let's reopen it. If it's this one or that one. Oh, well, it will take a minute or so to appear. Ah, here it is. So you can see the Google Calendar invite, and you can see that I invited 2 attendees. We can also see the RSVPs. We can see the length of this, and we can see the information of this meeting. And of course, it will stay synced. So if this meeting is going to move, then it will be reflected in here as well. So this is phase 1 of the calendar integration. And moving forward, it's also going to be bi-directional. So you will be able to schedule your meetings from Monday, and it will appear in your calendar. We decided to start like this because we feel like it's more efficient like that. You schedule the meeting, it's on your calendar, and then it's reflected in the timeline of your emails and activities. So this is really great. Try it out. If you don't see it on your Monday account right now, let us know in the chat, send us your email, and we'll grant it to you because this is has just been released, not to all users, but we can add it to your account, or it will just be added to your account automatically in about a week or so. All right. The next enhancements, really small ones, but that make a difference, that I want to show you is pinning the activity or the email to your to the top of the timeline. So let's say that, for example, I want to pin this because this is a very important note that I always want to be in the beginning. I can then choose to pin it to the top, and then it will always be on the top, even if I add new activities in the future, this will always be kept on the top. And another thing I want to show you is the link tracking. So let's go ahead and send an email with the link test. So let's put a link here, www. Let's do facebook.com. Right, so I'm sending a link to this email. And whenever this recipient is going to click on the link, okay, so let's say that they just clicked on the link. Oops, let me go back. Then we will see, let's let it load. Oh, I lost it. I lost the email. Ah, there it is. So we will see that it was clicked. Okay, so we always had the seen. So we were able to track if this email was seen or not. And now we are also able to track whether the link inside the email was actually clicked or not. And the last feature I want to show you regarding the emails is the emails and activities automations. So we've added a few recipes into the emails and activities automations. So what you can do is just go to the integration center and type emails. You will locate emails and activities, and you will see here different recipes that can be very helpful. I'll go over a few with you just to let you know what is useful. So for example, one that I really like is this one. When activity is created, so you can select, for example, when a call summary is created in emails and activities in this board, then set the last update date. So set a date column to today. So this is really helpful because whenever someone has an activity, it can be any type of activity or just a specific type like I did. It will set up the date of today. So once you have the date updated for today, as you can see in here, last update, you can then use this to filter all the deals by last update. You can color them in red. You can set a notification, you know, if the last update was over a week ago, you can send a notification to let them know to talk to this deal or this contact because it's been too long. So this is one option of the emails and activities automations that I really like. Let's see what else is new. So you can also create an activity really quickly from the board. So you can add a button column, and then you can say whenever button is clicked, it will create an activity of this selected type. So, right, so for example, I can add a button, and then when I click on this specific button, I wanted to create this activity, new demo, right? So you can use it for things that, let's do a very simple one. When button clicks, create a call summary. So then when I click here, it will create a demo summary. So why is this useful? Because it can just make my life easier. Instead of me having to type every time I finish a demo, I just finished a demo, blah, blah, blah. I can just click on the button and it will create it. That just can be a time saver for like general activities that don't need to be specified. And of course, you can always come and edit those activities. So you can create one automatically so you don't forget, but then you can come and edit this activity to make it more thorough and more detailed. All right, so these are all the new features I wanted to talk to you about, and I actually wanted to show a sneak peek of the really near future. So this is a new experience we're going to add on the item page. So this will be released in about a month. So stay tuned. And of course, we will let you know. In case you didn't know, you have this section right here in the question mark. You have the what's new. And you can always look at it to see what was released. So you can always stay updated. So don't worry, once it will be released, you will know about it. Now, what is this feature exactly? Whenever we open the item card, now you will be able to add widgets just like you would on a dashboard that will basically summarize this item and from its connected columns. So it's a bit more advanced. Once it will be released, you will have an article and all the knowledge about it. But let's take a look at this. Let's say that I'm running all of these accounts in my database, and I want to open Novos and see how they're doing. So I can see here the year by year retention or revenue generation. I can see their total account revenue. I can see the projects that are coming up with these clients, click on it and see exactly the detail about them. If I do have like projects, then I can see the Gantt over here, and I can see how many deals I have with this account and what's the win rate, what's the status of them. So the idea of this, it's of course, like everything we do in Monday, is customizable. So the idea is that you will now be able to add widgets, just like dashboard widgets, on top of your item card and not on a dashboard. So this is so useful because you can actually click on an account and see the details about the account without needing to go to a dashboard and filter or search. So this is really cool, and it's coming up in about a month. Now, let me go back to my presentation and show you another sneak peek of the 2 upcoming features that we're going to have later this year. For this, I cannot really give you an estimated timeline. I can just say that it will come in this year probably. So let me just open my presentation and show you guys. So the one thing that I want to show you is email sequences. Like I was starting to say about mass emails and emails capabilities in general, that it's just the beginning. So we're going to add email sequences. So like the ability to create a more advanced automation sequence on top of my emails. So for example, I'll be able to say, whenever I sent this email, if this client hasn't replied, then after 3 days, send them another email. Or if this client opened the email but haven't replied, send them this kind of email. Or create a reminder, so type of sequences like that can really help you manage your client base better. And the other feature that I want to talk about is the quotes and invoices. We currently have a quotes and invoices feature, but it's very basic and we're looking to improve it. So we are going to add a more advanced capability for quoting and invoicing, downloading it, sending it to your customers, and so on. So these are the 2 big, large features that you can expect coming up next year. All right, so that is it. Please let me know what questions you have. Let me go over the Q&A and actually see what hasn't been answered, and I can answer it. All right, so let's see. We have a question from Jordan. Are we able to send mass emails with unique hyperlinks specific to the accounts? Jordan, I'm not sure I understood your question. What do you mean unique hyperlinks? I believe we can, but I'm not sure I understood. So send this question to support@monday.com and we'll be able to answer more thoroughly. Okay, we have another question. Does mass email support opt-in and unsubscribe? That's a really good question. It will be supported in the near future. So I believe by the end of this quarter, it will already be released. The ability to opt in, opt out, unsubscribe from emails. So very good question. All right, we have another question that your emails for mass email are going to spam. Please email our support team about it. It's not supposed to happen because the emails are actually leaving from your inbox. So it's not a third-party email provider, it's your inbox. So we'll have to look into it and see why they're coming into spam. Okay. Linda asked if all the features that I was showing are released. So some of the features that I was showing are not released to all users. They should be released in this upcoming week. However, you can always comment on, I added a Facebook post on our Monday community. So you can just comment on that post asking me to grant you a specific feature, or email us support@monday.com with the feature that you're not seeing, and we will enable it for you. But all of them should be released this upcoming week, except for the phone dialer that I mentioned that is only for alpha. All right. Okay, Michael asked if the Crunchbase functionality works in connected boards column. So no, it doesn't work on mirror columns, but you can then mirror the domain column. Let me just maybe show it. You know what? If I see other questions about Crunchbase, I'll answer them. But if you email us individually, I can show you how to manipulate and do it anyways. All right. Okay, we have a question about the native color and the enrichment if it's a paid add-ons. So the native color is not a paid add-on, it's part of your package, but you will eventually probably have to pay Twilio, the phone provider, because they do offer a free amount of calls. And I think after a certain limit, you will have to pay them. So it's the payment is from them. Same thing for enrichment with Crunchbase. When you reach out a certain limit, if you want to continue, you need to pay Crunchbase. So it's not us, it's them. All right. Kristen, you mentioned that you want to turn off call recording. And I believe at the moment it's recording it automatically, but that's a really good feedback. And if you're looking to turn it on and off, I'll make sure to let the product know to add it to the settings, like whether we want it to be recorded or not. So that's a really good feedback. All right. We have another question. Is the item creation for available in all boards within the CRM? Yes. All the boards in the CRM product will have the enable item creation. Basically, all the features that I showed, except for the enrichment, are available on all boards. The enrichment is only available at the accounts board. Okay. All right, let's see. What other questions? Can you capture text messages with clients or, okay. So text messages, we still do not have in our emails and activities. It's part of our plans, definitely, I believe, for next year. We still don't have it. But if you want, you can create your own SMS integration with Twilio. It will appear on the updates page instead of the timeline of emails and activities, but you'll still be able to communicate via text messages. So I suggest you check out our native integration with Twilio for SMS, and also check out our marketplace app. We have some other applications there. Let me quickly show it. We have other apps that you can find useful for SMS or for other things. So I recommend looking on it and checking out whatever is relevant for you over here in the marketplace. All right, let's see what other question we have. Okay, once you clicked from the mobile app into a boards view, how do you go back to the CRM mobile view? So basically in the mobile, you will always, when you open a CRM board from here, you will always see the UI, the interface that is for the CRM. So all you need to do is just open a board that is an entity board on the CRM. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if we have any other questions. Okay, we have a new question. Does mass email will be available on work management? No, it will not. It will only be on the CRM. We will not add it to the work management. Okay, for the integration caller, from which phone number is the call? Can we set up a call from our phone number? At the moment, I think it depends on the Twilio settings. At the moment, it's showing up as a number that Twilio offers, but you can look at Twilio settings and see if they suggest to call from their personal number. I'm pretty sure you cannot, but we can check it. All right, let's see. Okay, I don't see any more questions in the Q&A. Let's see if we have some questions in the chat. Okay. We have a question about the goal widgets. When will it be filtered by date? It's actually a good feedback. You're right, at the moment it's not being filtered. I suggest using the chart widget instead, but I will forward that feedback. It's an important feedback for sure. Do we have any other questions? All right. I'll give you guys a few more minutes, and if not, I'll give you some time back. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions in the chat. Thank you all for attending. Feel free to write in the chat if you found this helpful, if you'd like to have more webinars like that. And by the way, join our Monday community. Just Google Monday community. If you're not there, join us. We are posting there. And yes, the recording is going to be sent out as an email to all of you at the end of this webinar, probably tomorrow. And I really recommend you guys join Monday community. Just Google it, find us. We are advertising a lot of cool features and webinars that we're launching. And also we have a Facebook community, so look it up. And you can ask questions in the community as well. Nancy, you're asking, will we be posting this webinar somehow? We will email this to attendees, and I guess we can also post it on the community. If you find it helpful, I'll make sure to do that as well so you can have it accessible. You're right, Sasha. Monday community gets the best inside tips. So if you want to be a Monday pro, you better join the community. All right, amazing. Okay, everyone, I'll give you one more minute to ask any questions or let us know. You can also type in the chat. Let us know if you love the CRM. What are the things you would want for us to add in the CRM? I'll keep this chat open. Okay, amazing. All right. So thank you all for joining. This was great. And again, join our community and let us know there what you thought about this webinar and what other webinars like so you would like to have. Bye, everyone.